Hi everyone, this is Lena with Especially Made for Me. Going to be working on a as part of a collaboration today. We are part of the Cubbies. We're part of a group and we get together to do designs, and we have a wonderful teacher, Lori Jacobs, with Hardworking Mom, and Veronica, who's also part of the collaboration, put this together. So please do look on the list that's below there on the description. That'll tell you who's part of the collaboration, what the name of their business, their YouTube link. So as you're watching me today, and of course hit on the bell and subscribe to my channel, please do show some love to those other ladies as well who have done some hard work in putting this together, and watch their videos, give them a thumbs up, subscribe to their channel as well, just to spread the love in the arts and crafts community. So without further ado, today we're going to be working on a mini wreath, and we are going to be doing a patriotic one with red, white, and blue. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I do, and it also hopefully has some time to show why I say I can use these, or we can use these as centerpieces. So we're going to go ahead and switch the camera look so that way you can still see me, but also see what we're working on. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Today we're going to need, of course, as always, some chenille stems when we're not using the wreath forms that already have the stems in it. We're going to be using these minis. They're 8 inches and they are available at the dollar store. So these will come in very handy, and of course they're very economical. So do get you some of these if you like the mini wreath once we finish working on our wreath today. So I'm going to put these, put one to the side because we're only going to be needing one for our mini wreath today. And of course the chenille stems, when I do a mini, I do cut them in half. One thing to think of is on the minis that we get from the dollar store, there are 3 sections. You can see by the crossbars, there's 3 crossbars, so 3 sections. Normally it takes me about 9 bundles per section to get them completely filled. We may need 1 or 2 more depending on the type of mesh. So you can get these at the Dollar Tree. They're 5 inch instead of the 10 inch. And they do have them there for different colors, and in different colors rather. And depending on any seasons that may be kind of close, they'll also vary the theme of the colors and the patterns based on that. So I mentioned earlier we need 9 bundles to actually do these. I put them together already. These are my bundles here. I always put them in a container to kind of keep them contained and keep things together. But I wanted to show you basically how I put those together first. So these I cut them at 7 inches. So I'm going to put them just against the mat here so you'll be able to see the cut. And the rule of thumb is to try to cut a square, but with these being so small, being 5 inches, I kind of went an extra 2 inches just to make sure that they stood out more once we roll them up. Okay, and I went ahead and cut for each one of the colors, and I have red, white, blue, and then their combination theme color that has all 3 colors in it. So we're going to need 4 of those. Or depending if you're doing it for a different theme, of course, it would go in accordance to the theme and season that you're working on. So these normally, they're called curls because we're going to be curling it, just kind of turning it in just the same way that it wants to curl. But we're just going to make a tighter curl, like so. Okay. And what I do is I actually put it between my my 2 fingers here, my middle finger and the pointing finger, my index finger. Couldn't think of the word, you know, it's a Spanglish thing. But just put it there to kind of hold it together. If you're not comfortable with that, of course, you could use the Bodabra. And I do have my Bodabra here to the side of me. So you could always do that as well. And just kind of put each piece there together and then pull them out as you go. I just find that it's quicker and easier for me to just put it between my fingers. Now when you're rolling these, again, we just need a tighter curl just to kind of make that little curl. And I know they're called curls, but for some reason, and I'll show you when I finish this one, to me they look almost like little hurricanes. So I kind of call them like little hurricanes, like a twister. And I'll put it closer. Let's see if I can hold it a little bit closer to the camera here. It almost looks like a little twister to me on the circles. See, it's like a little twister. So you could call it either way. It's mainly known as a curl because we are curling it. But what you would do is curl each one, kind of roll it up a little bit tighter. And once you have all 3 or 4, depending on the theme that you're going by, once you have them all together, then we're going to actually tie them with our chenille stem. Cut in half, because that's all we will need. And this is the way I put mine together. Just basically run it underneath and around, and I'll use my thumb to kind of hold it in place and just kind of hold the chenille and pull, so that way they'll all be going up. So you'll be able to, should be able to let it go this way with the other hand. And this we want to make sure it's tight. So what I normally do is I'm holding it there, I pinch it and then I twist. So give it about 3 twists and that'll keep it nice and tight. And that's a bundle. Now you will need some ribbon as well. I have cut some with ribbon. Now my mind is kind of a little bit cuckoo this last few days, and you're supposed to cut it a couple of inches longer than your actual mesh. So with your mesh being 5 inches, in this case if you get these smaller ones, then you will want to go to 7 to 10 inches depending on how much you want the ribbon to stand out once you have it all together. So I actually cut it the same size so it's not really standing out as much. So what I did on my ribbon, I don't know if you can see it here, instead of putting it in the middle, which is what you would normally do, just kind of go in the middle so that way half on one side, half on the other, I kind of went more towards one side to make it stand out a little bit more. So we just some things that we do just to kind of work something out as we do some crazy things. It is very forgiving. There's no set rules with doing this, so which is another reason why I like it. Makes it easier for me. So that's just what I did there. And with it being 3 sections, you would just decide how much ribbon you will want to have displayed. So if you want each bundle to have ribbon, then you would have to cut, you know, that many ribbons, you know, to go on each one of your bundles. And I mentioned earlier, normally it would take me about 9 bundles per section. So if you would want ribbon on each bundle, you would need, of course, 9 for each bundle. In my case, I like splitting it out. I don't like having so much ribbon together. So I would do 1 bundle with ribbon and 2 without. 1 with and 1 without. And then I just estimate what I need to cut based on that. But that's just the way that I like it. Of course, everything, you could do it as you would like, as your preference. There's no, again, no guidelines, no wrong way of doing it. It's just based on what we like. And I keep going up, and I'm sorry, but hopefully you'll be able to see on the corner. And then also on the bottom, you'll still be able to see. It's just one is a little bit of a closer image than the other. Okay, so once we have our bundles together, we're going to go ahead and put them on our wreath form. Again, this is an 8-inch wreath form. Okay, and you can get it at the dollar store. I always start with the one that has the ribbon. And all we need to do in order to put it onto our wreath form is pull open our chenille stem. So you'll be able to put the wreath form in between. And this is what I mean by that. We're going to be going in between the middle and the inner rims. Okay, so we want to make sure the legs, the little legs of the chenille stem, go in between both of those so that we can grab both of those with the chenille stem. That's how we're going to be attaching it. So we're going to go middle to inner, and I'll turn it around so that you can see. So we have the middle and the inner, and then we're just going to pull tight so it'll go as close to those rims as possible, and we're going to twist it to tighten it. Okay, you could use both hands, or if you want to use just one, you can. Again, no rules. Okay, and there's one bundle. Okay, and you should be able to still move these as you need to. Okay, and then we're going to go and put, for the way that I set up my count with my mesh, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 without the ribbon and do the same process. Okay, that's 2. I'm going to put our third one, which will be our second one without the ribbon. And you can turn it again upside down if it'll make it easier. It won't hurt anything. And I like these minis because you'll see once we put it all together, they are very cute. They're much smaller. They can be used as a centerpiece. And I find that the customers that get it for me at the assisted living facilities and nursing home facilities, it's better for their decorations, for their doors, for their rooms, because they don't have as much space. So that's another reason why I like the minis, because I like being able to have these available for them. We have some folks that actually buy it for their friends that are staying at the, whether it's a retirement home or an assisted living or a nursing home, and they get these for them at different, different events, different seasons and holidays and such. So, and what I like is, like I mentioned, you can use them as centerpieces. So you could also put it at a table if you're not able to put it on a door. Okay, that's one with the ribbon. So we're going to get our two without the ribbon. And by the time we're done with the 9, we should have 3 with a ribbon in each section. Okay, we're going to pull as close to the rim as we can in between the 2. Pull to tighten the chenille stem and twist. You can just push those up out of the way. That's how it looks on the back. And there's our front. Just halfway through on our first section. Another wonderful thing about these, they don't take as much material. It's very inexpensive to make, and it doesn't take long. The thing that takes the longest, I guess, if I could pick something, it would be putting the bundles together, which normally when I have to put bundles together, my husband likes to watch TV a lot, so I just go out there and watch TV with him, but still be putting the bundles together so we can have some time together watching TV, and I can work on getting this done. And you can see already it's coming together. You can see how it would possibly look just with the one section almost done. Kind of gives you the idea of what it might look once it's all done. Okay, so if you lose track of count, you can look here in the back. This one's with a ribbon, so there's 2 without, a ribbon, 2 without, and then your ribbon. So you still need the 2. Or you could just straight out count if you've already decided how many you might need once you've planned that out. So you could always count them out. So that way you would know how many more you would need. Okay? My 2 without the ribbon. Guess this one wanted to go on first. It jumped out at me. I did another video yesterday and I called it a mini, and I guess I shouldn't have called it a mini because it's not really a mini, but it is smaller than a regular wreath. Basically the same method, but I used the 10-inch mesh instead of this 5-inch from the dollar store, and I'll show you what that one looks like. I have it on top of my sublimation printer. But I'll show you that towards the end so you can see what the difference is on the size. And I just haven't come up with a name for that. I've been doing those or these for quite a few years, but just, recently decided to kind of try to do this on the side as a business and do the YouTube channel. And it just never came up with a name for it. I just call them mini wreaths. One is smaller than the other, but really need to come up with a different name for that other one. Okay, this is just with the one section looking pretty already. You can kind of see it's pretty. It's going to be pretty full. The more that we go along, of course, a little bit more difficult it may be to kind of push them, but we'll push them on and get them all in there. Excuse me. Give me one back with the ribbon. And don't forget, as you're watching, to please click on that bell, ring the doorbell, ring the bell. That'll help you with getting notifications when I do go live, because I do go live every week on a Friday at 8 p.m. Central. But that way, if we have any other collaborations, or if I just, you know, see there's something I would like to share and go live, you'll be notified of that. And then if you click on subscribe, it'll be easier to find it, because then you could go to your subscriptions and you'll be able to find the video a little bit easier that way as well, and easier to share with your friends and family. As you're here watching, also look at the description. Don't forget, this is part of a collaboration with some other arts and crafts ladies that are part of a group that I'm in. And we just got together and decided just to put some videos together, some lives, to kind of show some other things we do. Everybody has their own type of way of designing and coming up with themes and different things. So it's good to see all the different ways there is to make a wreath, all the different ways there is to make a swag, and different things. So please do share them some love as well. Look at the list and look at the names, and there's a link to their YouTube channel, so you'll be able to just automatically link on that. The one that's after me, and I wrote it down here on this envelope, it's Wall Decor by Faye, and the link is on there on the description. She'll be going on after me at 7:30 Central Standard Time, which is of course 8 p.m. Eastern. So please do show her some love. And if you by chance may have missed the other ladies that were on earlier today or yesterday or the day before, because we did start on the 6th of May, I do have the full list on the description, so you could always go onto their channels as well to view their videos. And please again do subscribe to their channels as well. You give us a thumbs up, we know you liked it, even if you don't leave a comment. Comments, of course, ask any questions as you're watching. It's the only way we'll know there's questions. And then of course subscribe. That one doesn't have a ribbon. There we go. I need a ribbon. Do I need a ribbon? Where am I? There we go. Getting lost. There's a ribbon and there's two. Okay. Let's do our counting. 6. Okay, so we need one more. 2. One more set. One with a ribbon, 2 without, and we'll be done with the second section. They really don't take long. And on these, you can make them very specific to the holiday if you like, or your theme. Nothing wrong with that. I tend to leave these without anything that specifies the holiday, especially with the red, white, and blue, because there's so many different holidays and things we celebrate with red, white, and blue. And that way you could reuse them. So we have what, Memorial Day, we have Independence Day, Labor Day, we have Veterans Day, So many different things that the red, white, and blue can be used for. Okay. That's one without ribbon. And what I do, I just kind of push them over to the side while I'm trying to put them in, you know, since we need to have access to that middle and inner ring, as I mentioned earlier. So we're basically utilizing 2 rims to tighten this in the back. We always leave the outer rim untouched. Okay, that is with 2 sections. We just have the one left. And if I do this, you might be able to see it a little bit better. That's the only section we have left. We already filled out 2. And you can see already how it's taken form. You see it's so cute and tiny. Let's see. We started with 8 inches just with the wreath form. We are almost at 13 inches right now. So it does grow a little bit, but if you think about it, if you have a smaller place, a small table, small door, or if you're sharing, you know, have a roommate, like at the facilities and things of that nature, makes it easier to be able to decorate without taking over the space and still be able to do something. And even for our own place, you know, our houses, our apartments, that allows us to decorate and put even more things out if we're not taking too much room, you know, so we don't want it to look overdone. So putting this like at an end table. A little bit tighter. Alrighty. How is everybody out there doing? Are we ready for Mother's Day? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and mother figures out there this Mother's Day weekend. Hope you have wonderful special things planned. And here in a little bit, I'll show you again, in case anybody came in late, how we put these bundles together. So we will need a couple more. I want to make sure I get to show throughout the video how to put that together. Okay. So for this design, I'm doing 1 with a ribbon, 2 without. So this is the one with the ribbon. So this is a wreath that you can make fairly inexpensive. All of these items that I have that I'm using for this one, I actually got at the dollar store. So of course, depending on the mesh you use, if you use the bigger mesh or the different types of mesh, your cost may go up a little bit, because there's different types of mesh out there. You know, okay, this one is metallic, but it's the 5-inch from the dollar store. There's others from, of course, that are bigger. We have the 10-inch and the 21-inch, depending on the look that you're looking for. We have jute mesh. This one's being stubborn. Okay, get in there. So I was saying about the different kinds of mesh. As you look, depending on the type of mesh you use, because the materials are different, your price may go up. So that's why you see so many different types of wreaths out there, and the mesh looks different, and the prices of course are different. Just kind of counting and separating these a little bit to have some more room, because we still need one more with ribbon or two. Oops, excuse me, my scarf is falling off. And two out. I also have listed the supplies that I use for this on the description, just in case you want to double check on the supplies. And these are actually got at the dollar store, but you can go to any hobby, arts and crafts store and get the same supplies. Just wanted to show that it could be done with dollar store supplies. Very inexpensive. And go into that middle and inner ring. And we're going to tighten in the back and push on out of the way so we can have room for the next one. Putting the chenilles together, kind of like tying a shoelaces without tying it, because we're just twisting it. Okay, I'm gonna give it about 3 twists. Okay, let's count again. And separate if we can. It's a little tight. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. There we go. I think I got them. Using the same distance here. Thought I needed to put some more bundles together, but I still do that just so that you can see what it will look like. And see, your middle is open, so you can put something in the middle, like a vase with some flowers or something like that, if you decide to leave it open, depending on if it's going to be given, like I mentioned before, anybody at a facility, someone that doesn't have that much room for decorating. But just like that on its own. And again, you could cut your ribbons a little bit longer if you want them to stand out a little bit more. You can do that. It's based depending on your preferences. But this is it here. You could just fluff it all along. It doesn't, you know, it's very forgiving. So I'm going to change the look of the camera so that you'll be able to see that better. But I'm going to put that to the side a little bit just because I want to show. So I still have some more cut here, and I'll probably make another one later. But I want to show, in case anybody came in late, how to put these bundles together. And I cut these to 7 inches, and these are the 5-inch. No, hold them up. These are the 5-inch rolls of mesh. Got them at the dollar store, and I just roll them just to curl them the same direction that they want to curl on their own, just a little bit tighter. And I put them between my fingers, just kind of makes it easier for holding it. That way I can still do some curling. I mentioned earlier that to me they look kind of like little twisters, little hurricanes. So you can call them curls or hurricanes, but either way, we're just putting it together. That's when we put all 3 or 4, depending on how many different colors you like to use, or a combination thereof. Once we have all of them curled, then that makes a bundle. The other thing that you would have to add, based on your preference, is your ribbon, which you would normally go 1 inch to 2 longer than your mesh, depending on how much you want it to stand out on your wreath once you're done. But this makes a bundle just without the ribbon. If you have the ribbon, then of course you would add that on top. The chenille stems are cut in half, and I'm just folding it over a little bit right in the middle because I'm going to put it between. I'm going to put one side on the bottom, one over the top, and you're basically going to be pulling towards the back and using your thumb to hold it there together, and you're going to pull. This helps you to make it nice and tight. Okay, we're just holding our chenille stems. We're going to twist them, but we're going to pinch here first to make sure it's nice and tight, and we'll go about 3 times. And that's a bundle. So basically everything you see here, it's a whole bunch of these put together. So that's why I call it the bundling, the bundle method. And then you would add ribbons as you need to. Okay, so that's how we do the bundles. And this is the finished product. You could put a sign in the middle if you don't want to use it as a centerpiece. You could put a sign in the middle. You can make a bow. And let me see if I can hold it another different. There we go. So you can see the full. Okay, so here's the difference of the 2 sizes. This is the one we just worked on today, the mini. This is the one I worked on yesterday. So it's basically like the next size up. Okay, so I would love again your help on determining a name for this one, the one that I made yesterday. If you would help me out with that, we put it on the comments, and I'm going to take all the suggestions into consideration. I'm coming up again. Don't forget, click on that bell, subscribe, and look on the description so that you can see the list of the other wonderful ladies that have also come on live on YouTube previously on the last couple of days, and also for the one that's coming after me, and that is, let me read it again, it's Wall Decor by Faye. So Wall Decor by Faye will be here after me, and she's going in at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So it'll be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time if you're on Eastern. Don't forget, show us some love, and thanks again for watching, and as always, stay liquid. Take care. Bye-bye.